Alright, apparently I am live. I'll wait a second to see if everyone can hear me or not. So, anyone in the audience, if you can hear me, let me know. I want to make sure all the volume settings are good. Hey, someone in the audience recognizes this game. That's awesome. Oh, I think it's really loud. At least on my end, it sounds really loud. Fast T quick. Yes. It'll make more sense when you actually see the game in action. I actually do feel like Star Fox in particular would work really well in this game's format, but if I did make it, it wouldn't be Star Fox, it would be an original setting with anthros that I could actually sell for money. Once I finish Event Horizon, I don't think I'm making any more fan games. I'll be doing just all my own stuff after that. But yeah, this game would be really great in the Star Fox universe. But one day I'll make my own version. I'll call it Anthro Armada or something like that. Alright, cool. Looks like you guys can hear me. So I'll wait a few minutes to let some more people in. Looks like there's more than 5 people here. I wasn't expecting that. The last time I did a video game stream with was it Roller Coaster Tycoon? There's not that many people in it because I don't think people are interested in me playing random video games from 25 years ago. So yeah, this game came out the same year as Roller Coaster Tycoon. They both came out in 1999. Awesome. I think there's a bit of a delay though. So I guess while we wait for some people to funnel in here, I'll give a little background on this game. Oh wow, someone in the audience. Okay, yeah, someone in the audience actually knows about Star Command. Yeah, All right, so I guess a little background on this game. It's not a direct sequel, but it's kind of a sequel to an even older like RTS game from the 90s. It's a little bit like Homeworld, but not exactly. But when I was reading interviews with the people that made this game, their goal was to basically remake Asteroids, where the asteroids could shoot back at you. But the game's a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not quite that, it's a pretty simplistic game, but there's a lot of, I guess you could say, depth to it, where you're leveling up your ship and you're getting weapons and items and stuff, and it's a really cool, you know, I won't go into detail about the actual gameplay. You'll just see it for yourselves when I start the game up, but it's a really cool game. I got it, I want to say in 2000 or 2001, whenever the Sega Dreamcast went on sale for $50, which I think was in late 2001. I ran out, I bought a Dreamcast. There was tons of games on it. I bought this game, I bought House of the Dead 2. I think the original I might have got the original Soul Calibur a little bit later, but yeah, this was just a game I knew nothing about at the time. It just had a really cool cover, and it was sitting right there, the start of the games on the shelf, because it began with A, so it's the first game I saw. I think it was only like $5. So I got this game when I bought the Dreamcast back in 2001. Actually, it might have been 2002. I don't know. Someone in the audience might remember that. Whenever the Dreamcast went on sale for $50. So I got this game. I think it was actually the first game I played on the Dreamcast, and I just instantly was just completely caught by this game. It's a really, really cool game. It has some problems that especially stand out with age, because there's games that have done some things that this game does much better in the 25 years since it came out. But when it came out, this game was just completely, I don't want to say like revolutionary, but it kind of broke my brain, some of the scope of this game back in the day. Of course, now it's quaint in retrospect. You know, I started playing it 2 days ago, and it's like I remember when I was a kid thinking, "Wow, this is the future of gaming," and now this game feels really quaint in hindsight. But I love this game; it's so cool. Actually, we've lost some people in the audience, so maybe waiting around for people wasn't a good idea. But let's see who's in the audience, if there's any questions or whatever. I'm shocked someone actually knows the RTS that this game kind of spawned from. Did you know that there's actually this game has a kind of sequel, but it's a racing game that's set in the same universe? I don't know, this company did a bunch of weird things. They were making a sequel to this game, though. I remember the previews for it in Game Informer and everything. They were making a sequel. I think it was called Armada's Revenge, which is an awesome title. They had screenshots and footage of it and everything, and then it just somehow got canceled, and I don't think there's any details as to why it got canceled. I think the reason that they gave is it was just taking too long to make the game, but I don't know. I think there was some behind-the-scenes drama because the company went bankrupt about a year after they canceled this game. And then one of the guys who came up with this franchise, they bought the rights back from whoever bought the company, and he tried to make like an online version of this, I think in like 2005 or 2006, and there was a beta or an alpha or whatever for that, but it got canceled, and just, I'm so sad that this game never turned into a series, because this game had so much potential for sequels. Nice. I'm kind of glad some people know about this game. It's a really obscure game. It's really hard to find any info about it online or people who played it. There's barely any like guides or walkthroughs for it. So it's just kind of a really obscure game that kind of came out of nowhere. And I remember the other night I was reading reviews for this game from back in 1999, and a lot of them kind of had a common theme of everyone was expecting this game to just be crap, because they thought it just looked like a shitty Asteroids clone, and then it came out and they were all caught off guard by how good it was. But, alright, I don't think we're going to get that many more people in the chat. The number's kind of hovering between 11 and 12, so I'll go ahead and start up the game and make sure all the sound settings are good. How do I maximize the window? Shit. Actually don't remember how to maximize the windows.
Finally, we received the first proof of something out there.
Hang on, there we go, now I can maximize it. I mean, it's already maximized on your end, but not my end. Can you guys hear the intro at all, or is it too quiet? Or is my voice too loud? I'm like 30 seconds ahead of you guys, so the intro's probably going to be over before I'm done yapping. So no one's talking in the intro, but basically the premise of the game is humans kind of expanded out into space for thousands of years, and all of a sudden these kind of like Lovecraftian biomechanical abominations just kind of appeared out of nowhere and started wiping everything out. And now all of humanity and these different alien races, they're kind of all trapped on a single planet that these things are avoiding, and they're trying to find a way to deal with all these aliens, called the Armada.
The Armada hit us hard, but it could not kill us.
Oh, you guys don't even see it? You can't even see what's going on? Can you hear it, though? Alright, let me get to the main menu, and... Damn it. Already off to a great start. You guys can't see anything. Alright, give me a second. Let me figure out what's going on. Let me go back to OBS. That's weird. On OBS, it looks like it's working, so... let me resize. Actually, the window, I think it made the window giant. Yeah, it made the window really giant. I think that was the problem. Let me resize it. I don't know why. Oh, I think it's because when I maximized the window, in OBS it like made the window super giant. So you guys are probably just seeing a little tiny corner of the screen. Let me shrink my big head so I'm not in the way. Anyway, does it look good to you guys now? On my end, when I'm looking at YouTube, it looks alright, but, I don't know, let me know if my head is too big or too small. Anyway. Alright, let me look at the comments. I have to, like, turn my head to see the comments. Now it's off. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Technical issues. Yeah, that game, that racing game you're talking about, I mentioned it a bit ago. There's a sequel to this game, but it's a racing game on the Game Boy, and it's, I don't know, weird idea for a sequel. All right, now it looks like it's kind of working. So let's start this game up. I'll just start a new one. And one of the cool things I really like about this game is there's a bunch of different species you can play as, and they all their ships have like different abilities. Unfortunately, in the game itself, it doesn't say what their abilities actually are. So if you don't have a manual, you're kind of just guessing what all of their abilities are. But so there's 6 different. They're technically all descendants of humans, but they've kind of like evolved into different aliens over thousands of years. But you've got the Terrans, who are just the normal, basic humans. And if I remember right, their special abilities are they have these little homing missiles that their ships fire out, and their ships have more armor, so they don't take as much damage. And there's the Nomads, who are really awesome, and they're kind of like these genetically engineered humans that were they were engineered to be able to survive in zero gravity. So they're kind of like the Belters from The Expanse. And I kind of like their visual design. I like how they don't have like any irises or pupils, and they just kind of have these blank eyes. And all the voice actors for them are really cool in this game. If I remember right, well, I do remember because I was playing as them last night, but their ships have like these little beam weapons that fire off, which are really cool, and they can instantly destroy like the normal regular sized enemies, which is really awesome. And then the Eldred, I keep wanting to call them the Eldris for some reason, but it's Eldred. And they kind of remind me of the Minbari from Babylon 5. There's another obscure sci-fi thing that I don't think anyone in the audience is aware of, but they always reminded me of the Minbari from Babylon 5. And if I remember right, their special ability for their ship is they can use the afterburners without it draining your energy, which is actually super useful, especially early in the game. And they have this thing called a radial shot, which I have no idea what it actually does, but they're little energy bullets, look like little rings. And I think what it does is their projectiles are wider than everyone else's projectiles, so it's easier for them to hit targets, but I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what the hell their radial shot thing actually does. And then there's a Scarab, who are cyborgs. They are actually Eldred that started to upgrade and augment themselves with cybernetic parts or whatever. In my mind, they have the crappiest ship in the whole game. Their ship, it fires their projectiles in 3 different directions. So it fires 2 of them behind the ship, which it is situationally useful if you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies. But I don't know, the Scarab seem to be kind of like the crappiest ship in the game, at least in my opinion. And there's the Draken, who when I was a kid, they used to be my favorite, but now I think the Nomads are my favorite. But the Draken are, they're like photosynthetic, genetically engineered humans. They were a bunch of prisoners that were shipped off into deep space, and they kind of like genetically engineered themselves to like generate their own food through some kind of photosynthesis. And they're a bunch of like these pirates and mercenaries. So their ship has several really cool abilities where whenever they destroy enemies, they gain more credits than everyone else, which is especially useful really early in the game when you want to buy a bunch of weapons and equipment for your ship. But they also have their projectiles fire in a wide arc, which is really cool. And then there are the Vorgan, who I take it back, they were my favorite when I was a kid. The Vorgan actually are apparently an alien species. That they have like these giant brains that allow them to telepathically communicate with everyone. So they're like these psychic telepaths. But their ships have probably the most useful ability where they can psychically guide their projectiles to home in on enemies, so it's basically impossible for you to miss enemy ships. I think it's a little broken and overpowered, but they're probably like the strongest. In my opinion, they're probably the best, most overpowered and the best ship you can pick. So I might pick them for this little live stream, but let me check out the comments. I haven't been looking at them. Yeah, Joshua Brown. Did you mean this game was far ahead of its time? Or... Because he said so far before its time, which kind of implies it was an ancient piece of crap when it came out. I think he meant far ahead of its time, though. Oh, he also... Yeah, I'm glad people know Babylon 5, too. Babylon 5 was a really obscure sci-fi show that seems like a lot of people have discovered it in the last decade, which is really cool. Babylon 5 is probably one of the best shows... Forget sci-fi, it's one of the best shows ever made. It's shockingly high quality. I mean, the CGI in it is 90 CGI, so it's got like really... The CGI effects in Babylon 5 have not aged very well, but the CGI in it doesn't really look like 90 CGI. It has a very distinct aesthetic and feel to the CGI in the show. It's kind of hard to explain. It kind of feels like it was developed in an alternate universe of the 1990s where they'd use some different techniques or something. So it's not like high quality CGI, but it looks different than like all the, when you think 90s CGI, you think like, what's that one? Like the Beast Wars cartoon, like that kind of like really smooth, like metallic looking CGI. It has a very different aesthetic that kind of makes it stand out from all the other CGI, but other than that, like the show really holds up. Like what a great cast of actors. Just go watch Babylon 5 if you can find it. And I think it's actually on streaming now. For a long time, you couldn't stream it anywhere. It was kind of just lost media. But now it's streaming, I think, on Amazon Prime, and I think it's also on Tubi for free. No, I don't think it's on Amazon Prime. It's on one of them, but it's also on Tubi for free. Or was it? I don't know. It's on one of the free ones, so go watch Babylon 5. And I actually think this game was inspired by Babylon 5. Case in point, the Eldred look a lot like the Minbari. And the main enemy in this game, the Armada, they're like these living, shadowy creatures that scream in space, and it kind of reminds me of the shadows from Babylon 5. Ooh, I see someone in the audience mentioning Farscape. Yeah, Farscape is really, really good. I think I like Babylon 5 more, but Farscape is a contender for sure. Yeah, I'm so glad people know about Babylon 5 in the audience. Sent to find 4 never did anything else. Did the animators make all the show CGI on Amiga 120 computers? I don't know for certain. I know they made them. I remember the behind the scenes. They mentioned they made their CGI on a specific type of computer. So that might have something to do with the way it was rendered, but I'm not sure. And Ladies Man is asking, Estelle still wants to make another Crystal plush. So yes, we'll probably do a live stream on that when it goes live, but there is a second Crystal plushie coming out, and it's we try to make it look more like Crystal from Star Fox. We're really trying to push that line of what we can get away with actually selling, because we don't want to get sued by Nintendo. But yeah, there's a second Crystal plushie that we're gonna bring out in the summer. It's a summer themed one. You'll see. We'll do a live stream on it when it's ready. I see people mentioning Shenmue 3. Yeah, didn't Shenmue 3 actually come out like 20 years later? I think it actually did come out, just not on the Dreamcast. Let's see, what other questions do you got? I haven't even started the game yet because you guys have so many questions. Estelle still coming to Texas, yeah, she's still. I don't know what's going on with the convention thing. We were gonna do our own convention in Texas, but turns out doing a convention is really expensive and really complicated. We were talking with someone who did conventions in Texas, and we're actually thinking she's, at least in the meantime, she's just going to go to pre-existing conventions, and then maybe after a few times, after, her reputation builds up in the convention community, maybe then we'll do the Crystal Con or something. At the moment, the Crystal Con thing is kind of on the back burner because it's really complicated. We have to set up We have to set up an LLC or a nonprofit organization to do it, and it's kind of complicated, so we've kind of put that on the back burner for now. But she might show up at a pre-existing convention somewhere in the United States in the next year. If anyone here is running any of those conventions, just shoot her a message and invite her, and she'll probably go. Doesn't have to be a convention, can be smaller. Yeah, just as long as a convention or a smaller event invites her, she'll probably show up. The problem is no one's inviting her. And the conventions that we've tried to get her to, they're all like booked, or they're all well, at least the ones in America. And in Europe, it's a different story. She's already been to a bunch of them in Europe. She's been to 2 or 3 of them in the UK, and I think she did one outside of the UK, but I can't remember where it was. But if she ever finalizes plans, I'll tell all of you. It'll be announced on Twitter and Discord and everything. And I'll probably, if it's in America, I'll probably be there. I don't know if I'll go to one outside of America though. I got my passport for that purpose, but things are, especially planes, they're so expensive right now. And honestly, with all the planes that have been crashing in America lately, I don't know if I want to go on a plane right now. There's been 5 or 6 plane crashes in America in the last month, just out of nowhere. And one of them was in Canada, but it came from America. But there's been there was that one in Alaska. There was 2 of them in Pennsylvania, and then the one in Canada. There's been just out of nowhere all these plane crashes. So I'm kind of hesitant to go on a plane, at least for a while. Alright, I think I've caught up with the questions. So, I guess I'll go ahead and start up the game. I'll just pick the Vorgons, and I'll just call myself Bob. Bob the Vorgon. Alrighty. So I guess we'll start the game, and the game just dumps you right in. There is kind of a storyline going on in the background of the game, but it's not really, I don't want to say it's minimal. It's just kind of in the background. This game was definitely designed to be a 4-player, couch co-op kind of game where everyone's kind of drunk and kind of fighting each other over all the power-ups and stuff. It's a really fun game. But yeah, the game, it just dumps you right into the game, and right away I don't know if you guys can hear it actually, but can you guys actually hear the sound? I'll pause it to see if you guys can hear it. Let me know if you guys could hear all those sound effects, and then I'll resume, because I want to make sure the volume's not too loud or too low. It's actually kind of loud on my side, which will make it hard for me to multitask. Have you ever thought of wearing a hat on stream? I do have a hat somewhere, but I actually never thought of wearing one on stream. I don't know, maybe I'll wear a hat on stream, I'm not sure. Might get in the way, it might cover my eyes, because my my webcam is kind of it's kind of above, so the brim of the hat would probably be in the way of my eyes and make me look all all spooky. Alright, cool, you guys can hear. So it's a little bit loud on my end, so I'm not really good. I'm terrible at multitasking, so there's probably going to be moments where I'm just playing the game and not saying crap, and I know people don't like that, but yeah, the game just dumps you right into a fight with the first boss, and okay, yeah, the Vorgons, yeah, their shots can home in, so I could just shoot in any direction and they home in, which is really cool. Yeah, this boss is really easy. It barely shoots, but I think it's supposed to be a little tutorial anyway. So yeah, you'll notice there's this little energy bar. When you zoom around, it goes down, and when you fire shots, it goes down. And there, I already killed the boss, and I already gained a level. So yeah, the game, it's, like the developer said when they were making it, it's basically a spiritual sequel to Asteroids, where all these enemies kind of just come in from the edges of the screen, but unlike Asteroids, they actually shoot back at you. And the actual Armada creatures in this game, they have a bunch of really cool designs. They're really kind of their aesthetic kind of reminds me of really old Sega Genesis games that had has anyone ever played what's technically it's not a Sega Genesis game, but it was an old pinball game called Alien Crush. Like, all the aliens in that game, they had a very distinct aesthetic that's clearly inspired by H.R. Geiger, but it's kind of its own thing. And a lot of Japanese games in the early 90s and late 80s, their aliens kind of had that aesthetic. Like Metroid, the Space Pirates, and the Chozo kind of have that look to them. The Armada aliens in this game kind of remind me of that. And I've always really liked that aesthetic that kind of disappeared in the 90s. But yeah, in this game you can go around and like talk to the little people by using the little scanner thing. And it'll give you like different missions and stuff you can do. Some of them will repair your ship, like where is she? There's the one purple lady that repairs your ship. I think she's down there at the bottom. Yeah, I can't multitask. So this stream's probably going to be mediocre. Yeah, she's the one who repairs the ship. But, if there is a problem with this game, there's side missions in this game which you can do to get money to buy stuff, but the problem with this game is there's only one side mission in the entire game, which is escorting ships across space. So even though I really, really like this game, once you've kind of seen all of the different stuff, it gets really repetitive really fast. So that's why I really wanted a sequel for this game, where they could add more side missions and stuff. It would really help flesh the game out. But one really positive thing about this game, though, is even though there's not a lot of variety for the missions, most of the missions are go kill a boss and then come back and get... It's basically like Shadow of the Colossus, where you're just killing a bunch of bosses. And then there's the side mission, the one side mission in the game where you're escorting a ship. So there's not a lot of variety in that regard. But there's an insane amount of enemy variety. You're basically seeing new enemy creatures until the very end of the game. I might be wrong, but there's probably over 100 different types of enemy creatures in this game, which is actually a lot of variety. So that's really cool. Anyway, let me check out the comments, because I can't multitask while I'm playing. How long since we got a stream from Ice Cream Man? I think the last one I did was in June. I think it actually was a stream Estelle and I did for the first plushie. I think it was in June or July. So yeah, it's been almost a year. She's been super busy, so we haven't really done any streams, although we'll probably do one for the next plushie in the next several months. But I've just been working. Like I haven't really had time to do like random streams. I don't even know if people like these little video game streams that I do every like once a year, but so yeah, it's been a while since I've done a stream. It'll probably be a while before I do another one. Actually not a lot of comments, so I'll get back into the game. We'll go out into space. So there's kind of like an overworld in the game, which is just this giant empty space, and then there's all these star bases you can go and visit. So I'll just go to this one right here, and this is where you can buy like all of your weapons and equipment and stuff. I can't remember what stuff this starting star base doesn't have really any good stuff in it, I think, except for this item here. Yeah, no, not the warp muzzle. Where is it? Nah. There's a weapon that makes it so your shots, or not your shots, your afterburners only drain half of your energy, which is really useful, but I don't remember what starbase it's at. And I'll just go back in space for now. Oh. So, I'll zoom around a bit and see if I could find a ship that is in need of an escort. So I'll just zoom around into space. One will show up here sooner or later. I'll show you guys the one side mission that you'll be repeating 5,000 times throughout the entire game to get money. Wow, there's not a distress signal. Wow, this is weird. Normally one would show up by now, so I guess I'll just blow some stuff up in the meantime. Yeah, I keep forgetting I'm in the Vorgon and my shots home in, so I don't even have to aim. I can just shoot pretty much wherever and the shots will home in, which is really cool. Oh crap, I died already. Oh, there's a distress signal. So I'll escort that ship down there. Oh, it's another Vorgon ship.
I need your help
So this is basically the one side mission that you'll do over and over again. It's when you first play this game, it's fun escorting these ships, but after doing it like 10 times, it gets so repetitive. But this is like the main way you'll make money in the game, is escorting these ships and just destroying all the enemies that attack it. And this game really needed more side missions, which, you know, I'm certain they were going to do in the sequel, but it got canceled. And then, yeah, you scan the debris of the Armada ships, and they'll give you these little lobby credit things. So that's another way to get money. And yeah, the game's pretty simplistic, but it's one of those games. It's one of those games with like a really addictive gameplay loop, where you're trying to save up money to buy new weapons and stuff, like to buy laser or like beam weapons and missiles, and then when you level, I think it's every 4 levels when you level up, your ship gets bigger and bigger. It doesn't quite get as big as this ship I'm escorting, but that I remember like years ago, like I didn't know that was a thing in the game, and when I suddenly got to level 4 and my ship got bigger, I was like, that was just such a cool thing I wasn't expecting. And I think the maximum level you can get to where your ship gets to the largest size is level 44, which I've never gotten to. I think the highest I've gotten is like level 30, so I've never seen the biggest ship you can get in the game, actually. But yeah, I really like the designs of the Armada themselves. Like, they have a really, and these are just like the starting ones. There's some really creative looking creatures later in the game. Like I think it's like the 4th or the 5th boss. It's called an Armada Queen, and it looks like this giant harp with like these strings in it. It's just this really weird and creative like creature design. It's like whoever designed these creatures, he's like, I'm gonna make one look like a harp, but it actually looks like really gross and terrifying. It's really cool. Anyway, yeah, I really, basically, since I first played this game, I always wanted to make a game like this, so I don't, maybe when I'm done with Star Fox Event Horizon, this, my rip-off of this game will be the first one I make. Oh, there, I finished the mission, and cool, that ship rescued its little buddies. Now they're just gonna go around shooting everything, which is awesome. But anyway, I think like I'd really like to make kind of like a spiritual successor to this game, which is, you know, way more stuff in it. And obviously I would make it so that it's like all anthros. So like I'd make it so the different ships you can pick, one is piloted by a fox. Obviously, I'd probably have one piloted by a duck, a bear, like just different anthro characters, and I think that would be really cool. I think that game would probably do pretty well, and then I'd make it like a multiplayer like co-op game. And if you haven't kind of picked up on it already, the reason I feel like that kind of game would work, or even a Star Fox game made like this, is you're a mercenary in this game. So you could go around to different planets and different star bases and different groups taking jobs and kind of influencing the way things go in the galaxy between different different warring factions. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that would be a great idea for a game. And this gameplay is relatively simple. I have a feeling I could probably recreate it pretty easily in Unreal, so I'm definitely considering my first game after I finish Event Horizon being kind of a Star Foxy version of this game. I just think it'd be a really cool idea. Anyway, I see some comments, but let me go to the starbase there, and I'll read some of the comments. I think that's the Scarab starbase, if I remember right. Alright, let's take a look at the comments. See, if you're about to die, you can activate the, yeah, I know it's the Y button, but I tend to save those abilities for the explosion thing for bosses, so when I'm running low on health, I look for the little jellyfish things to repair my ship instead. But yeah, there's an ability in the game where if you click the Y button, your ship, like a shield is created around your ship, and it repairs your ship while the shield is going, which is really useful. But kind of not to not to tout my skills, but at least in the starting area, I've gotten pretty good at not dying. Let's see. Don't forget to take a look at other games like this one in the drop. I haven't heard of those games, so yeah. If anyone in the audience, if you know any games similar to this, let me know, because I really like these type of games, and I haven't really seen. There was one that came out 10 years ago. God, what was it called? It was like an anime one. Like, it looked like it was kind of inspired by Gundam, like the art style. What was it called? There was a game kind of like this that came out 10 years ago. But I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. But other than that, I'm not really aware of any games that are quite exactly like this. So if anyone in the audience knows about them, let me know, because I will I'll devour them. Oh, Wave Cube, you got a Dreamcast last year. Yeah, look up this game. I think it only goes for like $15 on eBay. Look for this game. It's really fun, and if you have people to play it with, this game is. It's possible to beat it with just one, as one player. I beat it when I was a kid 2 or 3 times, but it's a lot harder because it's clearly designed for 4-player co-op. So if you can get multiple people to play this game, it's really fun. And the reason I feel like it's designed for multiple players is there's certain bosses that are clearly designed to be weak against certain ships. Like there's this one boss called the Sentinel that has like this like shield in front of it that you can't damage. You have to hit it from behind. And it's pretty obvious to me that it's designed to be weak against the Vorgon ship, who can shoot behind it and then the projectiles home in from behind. So there's certain enemies that are clearly designed to be weak against certain ships, and it's obvious to me that the game was designed for different players to pick different ships to kind of shine against certain bosses. So if you're doing it as one player, some of the bosses get obnoxiously hard, like the Sentinel one, which I think I was fighting for like an hour last night. It's really hard to fight it as one player, unless you're playing as the Vorgon ship, which I wasn't. But then there's another boss. Which one was it? There's another boss with armor that's clearly weak against the beam weapon that the Nomad has. So yeah, definitely do this game multiplayer if you can get multiple people to play it. When I was a kid, I had a friend who would play it with me now and again, but never for very long. So I mostly played this game as just a single player game. But yeah, definitely. If you got a Dreamcast and you're looking for Dreamcast games, this one is great. Like, other than like Soul Calibur, maybe the House of the Dead games, this is probably at least in my opinion, it's probably the best game on the Dreamcast. See, maybe that anime game was Space Pirates versus. I do have Space Pirates versus Zombies. It's a little bit different than this game. But no, that's not the game I'm thinking of. It was God, what's driving me crazy? I remember the cover for it and everything, and the ship. It was like this red ship that kind of looked like the Vipers from Battlestar Galactica. It was an anime art style, and it looked like it was inspired by Gundam, but I can't remember what it was called. I should give Space Pirates vs. Zombies a shot again. I got that game a few years ago, but it didn't quite click with me. It was a little more the game was a little more complicated than this one. Sorry, my YouTube closed itself on me. Oh. Glad you're back, though, Lord of Creation. All right, well, that was it. Then Galaxy, that was it. And the audience, Cold, Gallic, and then Z. That was the game I'm thinking of. Let me look that up really quick. Gallic Z. Yep, that was it. From what I remember, that game was really similar to the one I'm playing now, but I've never played it, so maybe I should get it and check it out. Anyway, oops, I lost the chat. Let me bring it back up. All right, I'll get back to the game now. Let's see what weapons this place has. Oh, only 2. That sucks. The warp muzzle and the probe, which lets my weapons hit invisible enemies. Nothing useful for me right now. So I guess I'll find another ship to escort. I'll try to get to level 4, and then I'll go against the first boss. Oh, there's a ship. A distress signal down there. I've gotten really used to the leveled up ship I was playing as already. Oh, there's a Terran ship.
I will join you for the hunt. Please help protect my ship.
Alright, I guess I'll escort this Terran ship. I can't believe I forgot the name of that game. Thank you. Is it Coid or Cold? It's Coid. I think I read your name as Cold by accident. I read your name wrong, but yeah, that was the game I was thinking of. I think it came out like 10 years ago. Oh, I already got to level 4? Alright, apparently I already got to level 4, so when I go back to the starting planet, my ship will be bigger. And I'll go try and wipe out the I guess it's technically the second boss, but... Okay, I remember there's different types of enemies in this asteroid field, but I don't remember what they were. Yeah, they're the one with the orange projectiles. Oh yeah, the little trilobite things. Yeah, in this asteroid field, there's like these trilobite creatures. When you kill them, they like split into smaller versions of themselves. So yeah, there's a lot of variety for enemy design in this game, which is really cool, especially for back in 1999. Like, I don't think I'd ever played a game with like this much enemy design variety in it at the time. It was really cool. There's like these kind of skeletal creatures in this game that kind of remind me of the Goris from Star Fox. Like, they're these giant, like, I don't know, they're really cool. And then there's yeah, there's I think I mentioned the harp creature earlier in the game. That one is a really weird looking design, but I like these trilobite things. They're really annoying though when they split. And like some of the larger ones, like there's a boss that's one of these trilobite things, and it keeps splitting just into smaller bosses. It's really annoying. And when I kill that one, it's going to split into smaller ones. Let's see how the ship is doing. Still at 94 health. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much easier this game is when you're playing as the Vorgan, because you don't have to aim properly. The shots just home in. It's like way easier than playing as any of the other ships. I think if I made my own version of this game with furries and I had a ship that ripped off the Vorgan ship, which I will, because the Vorgans are telepathic, so obviously the crystal ripoff who's telepathic would have the Vorgan ability. But here, let me repair myself because I'm almost dead. I think what I'd do is at the starting levels, the projectiles would only home in slightly, and then as you gain levels, the projectiles would home in. They'd home in more directly as you gain levels and power. But this Vorgan ship is just so overpowered. Oh, I think I got that ship to its destination. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, let's go back to the homeworld and upgrade my ship, and I'll go fight the first boss. Second boss, actually. Oh, wow, I'm really far away. I don't know how I got this far. Actually, you can just return to the homeworld by going to the start button, which is really convenient. So I'll just do that. I'll fast travel back. There, now my ship's bigger. Cool. From what I understand, whenever your ship gets bigger, all of its statistics go up too, like your health and the damage of your projectiles, which is really awesome. And then if I remember right, when you get the final ship size upgrade, if I remember right, when you get that upgrade, your power pods, which are like the little, you see the little red blips under the ship. It's kind of like your secondary attack. If I remember right, when you fully upgrade your ship, you basically get infinite power pods. But I've never gotten a level 44 ship before, so I wouldn't know. But anyway, I'll go fight the first boss now, which is right up here at Babylon 5. Where is he? Oh, no, never mind. He's a little bit over here. I think he's supposed to be above that star base, but it looks like he wandered a little bit. Oh, crap. So yeah, the first like 2 or 3 bosses are actually really easy. They basically just kind of fly around and don't do much, but when you get to the Sentinel boss, which is the one with the shield, that's when there's like a really huge difficulty. Oh crap! I actually died. There's a really huge difficulty spike, and then the bosses kind of start to have like different attack patterns and stuff. Well, this little enemy here has an attack pattern where he's like orbiting around me, but I have the homing shot, so he's like really easy to fight. Anyway, let me go back to the boss, and I'll use my power pod. Oof. Oops. Wow, I'm doing really bad as the Vorgon. As far as like taking damage goes, I think the Vorgon ship is probably weaker than the Nomad ship I've been playing as. I might switch over to the Nomad ship if after I beat this boss. See, I'm about to die. Let me go get some health at the little squid thing up here. Whoops. No. Yeah, let me go up to this other squid thing and fix my armor. Yeah, those little squid things that fly around, they look like little pluses on the radar. They if you destroy them, they heal you a little bit. If there's one thing about this game I would have added is when you go to star bases, you should be able to repair your ship. But when you go to a star base, it doesn't repair your ship. That just seems kind of weird to me. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty bad as far as my health goes. Whatever, I'll use the shield thing. I'll repair that way. Yeah, I'm not doing very well against this boss. Even though the Vorgon has the homing ability, I think I like the Nomad way more because his projectiles just do way more damage, and I think he has more health. I think when the first ship I beat this game as was actually, I think, the Eldred, because just the ability to zoom around with your afterburners without the bar draining is really, really useful. Because then you can zoom and like fire while you're zooming too, which is really, really handy against certain bosses. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to the Nomad. The true enemy, the glitch store menu. Was the store menu glitched when I went there? I don't think it was. Or do you think I was saying that you can't repair because the menu's glitched? Because there's not even an option to repair at a starbase. Like, the option doesn't even exist in this game, and I feel like it should. Like, it's a starbase. That's where you go to get supplies in this game from starbases. It would make sense that you could repair at the starbases too, but you can't, which, I don't know. I would have made it so you can repair at starbases. And if I ever remake this game, I'll make it so you can repair at star bases, and depending on your standing with certain factions, they'll offer you discounts, or if you have like a contract with a certain faction, they'll repair your ship for free, maybe. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm about to die again. I think I'm gonna switch to the Nomad, because the Vorgon's actually, maybe the Vorgon isn't as overpowered as I remembered. Because I don't even think I think I barely put a dent in this boss. Whereas when I was the Nomad, I killed it like as soon as I got to level 4. Oh, he's almost halfway dead. Oh, but I died. All right, I'm gonna switch to the I'm gonna switch to my Nomad guy. Oh shit! You're right. Never mind. OBS actually broke on me. Sorry, guys. Let me find out what's going on. Sorry about that. Let's see what's going on with OBS. I'm so sorry. Alright, let's, actually, I think the problem is, isn't OBS. I think it's YouTube. Because my face looks like it's frozen too. Huh. Can you guys actually hear me? Because my face is frozen on the thing too. Because OBS is working. I can see everything fine, and my face is working. But on YouTube, it's just it's frozen on the store with my face. But can you guys actually hear me? This is really weird. Let me refresh. Let me refresh YouTube. Oh wait, you guys can okay, you guys can actually oh, looks like it fixed itself on its own actually. All right, I'm sorry about that, guys. So there, you stared at a glitched menu screen with me talking about a boss until I got killed. Anyway, I'm gonna switch over to the Nomad ship that I was playing. Actually, I forgot. You can go to campaigns with your different ships. I will go back to the first boss and I'll just wipe it out with my Nomad ship. Because yeah, the Nomad. I think the Nomad ship is probably my favorite one in the game right now. But, yeah, YouTube keeps glitching out, so let me know if it glitches out on you guys. If it glitches out again, I'll try and keep my eye on it. Yeah, let me go back into space. The Nomad, man. Yeah, let me go watch. I'll probably wipe out that boss in like 5 seconds with my Nomad ship, because I'm at like level 20 or whatever, and I have the beam weapon and everything. Oh, of course, every shot missed. Yeah, he's already almost halfway dead. I've only been shooting at him for a few seconds. But yeah, see the Nomad, I don't know if you guys saw it. It has like the this beam weapon that fires out. I also bought some homing missiles from a starbase, so I got a few homing missiles, which are the little blue things. There, I killed the first boss in like 20 seconds with the Nomad ship. Awesome. You know, I'll zoom out into like deep space and see what I can find, because there's some really cool enemies way out in deep space. Did YouTube glitch again? Oh my goodness, it fucking glitched again. What the hell, dude? Am I gonna have to end this stream already? Because OBS looks like it's working on my end. It's YouTube that's glitching. What the hell? Hang on, let me go mess with OBS again. Maybe it is OBS. No, OBS looks like it's working. This is so weird. Let's see, go live. I'm already live. This is so weird. Is it working? I think it was OBS. It was saying I wasn't live, but you guys could still hear me, so I don't know. I'm having boomer Neffy tech issues again. Can you guys see it now? Because it on YouTube it looks like it's working now, so I guess I really need to look at the YouTube screen before I like start playing the game to make sure it's working. But at the same time, YouTube is like 30 seconds behind me, so I have to wait for like 30 seconds to see if it's working. But yeah, it looks like it's working now. So let me start the game, and I'll just fly around here to make sure it actually. Okay, no, now it looks like it froze again on YouTube. What is going on? You know what? No. That's so weird. I don't know what's going on. That is really, really weird. It seems like every time the menu changes, like I go to a starbase to buy stuff, or I go to the start menu, it seems like every time the game changes screens, it's like OBS or YouTube like freaks out. I'm not sure why that is. So every time I go to a planet or a starbase, I might have to briefly pause, go to OBS, and let it do its thing to get to the screen. But it looks like it's working now. So let me go up into space and see if it freaks out again. All right, I think it's working now. So let me know if it stops working again, because it looks like it's working. But when I get to the planet I'm going to, I'll check to make sure it doesn't freak out again. But anyway, yeah, this is the level I made it to when I was playing last night. Like, About two days ago, I dug up this game. I had no intention of playing it long at all because I'm really busy, and then I ended up playing it for like 6 hours last night until like 3 in the morning because this game is really addicting. Alright. Nope, it looks like it froze again. Damn it. I don't know, I think this might just turn into a Q&A stream at this rate because it keeps freaking out. It's like I have to check OBS every few minutes. Damn it. Alright, let me check the settings a bit more. Capture method. It says automatic. Redream. Oh, it looks like it's set to... So it looks like the problem isn't me going to different screens. It just seems like every few minutes it just stops recording what's going on. And I'm not sure if it's an OBS or a YouTube problem. I would guess it's an OBS problem because my little webcam isn't freezing up. So this might be like a problem between OBS and the game I'm playing, which really sucks if that's the case. But if this keeps happening, I might just have to turn this into a Q&A stream because I don't know. I might have to spend time tonight figuring out what the hell's going on because I'm really not sure what's going on. You know what? I have an idea. Let me get OBS opened, and then let me shrink OBS so that it's kind of... So, I have a theory that if I keep OBS on top of the game, I'll be able to see if when it freezes up, or if it might not. But yeah, it looks like it's working now. So you guys won't be able to see it, but on my screen I have OBS in a little tiny corner. But it's always on top of the program I'm running. So I think what's going on is my theory is when I minimize OBS, and then the game takes priority. Something about OBS not being the top priority is causing... I don't know how to explain it. It's just a gut feeling. I guess we'll find out in a few minutes the next time it freezes, or it doesn't. And I'll know when it freezes instantly because I have OBS open down there. But I forgot where I was going now. Oh yeah, I was going to the desert planet, which is where all the bone creatures are, these things are really creepy and cool. I like the design of these bone creatures in this weird asteroid field. There's like giant skeletal ribs and bone things. And one of the guys on the homeworld planet says they're artificially created. Like, they take the bones of creatures they've killed and like attach them to their computers. It's just really gross and awesome. Alright, it looks like OBS is still recording, so, it looks like it's still working on YouTube also, so I think I might have solved the problem. Anyway, let me go to the desert planet. If I go down to the planet and it freezes up, that'll confirm my original theory that it's related to, the screens changing, but... You know what? That desert planet looks suspiciously like Titania, so I do wonder if there was some Star Fox influence in this game. Because the creatures here, some of the creatures here remind me of the Gorus a little bit, where it's like these skeletal things. Oh man, look at that. That 1999 desert texture there in the background. Alright, OBS looks like it's still recording it, so that's cool. Okay, where's the boss? He's way up there. Let me repair my ship first before I fight him. Oh wow, these things are doing a lot of damage. I don't think I'm going to be able to defeat this boss just until I level up a bit. Oh wow, I died trying to kill the repair thing.
Armor repaired.
Alright, let me go fight that boss. Where is he? He's up there. Oh crap, there's invisible ones. I don't remember those. If I remember right, when I was a kid, I actually was stuck on this boss for ages. Holy crap. Because, like, look at all those projectiles. I probably need to level up quite a lot before I could fight this boss. I might just go back to fighting the earlier bosses. Where'd he go? Okay, yeah, I died really fast. Alright, I guess I'm not fighting that boss. Alright, let's see if OBS is still working. Or if it froze. I think it actually froze. Oh no, it's just being slow. Alright, I think I solved the OBS problem, because it looks like it hasn't frozen, so... Alright, let me catch up with the chat. Sometimes default setting make minimizing windows lower. Yeah, I think that's what the problem was. I don't know exactly why, because you know I've streamed other things where I minimized OBS. Like I streamed Roller Coaster Tycoon a year ago and there was no problems. Something about the window this game is being the priority and OBS being minimized. I think it's causing OBS to just not do its job completely. Fast T Quick says, perhaps your Armada successor could have RPG mechanics like leveling up. This game has leveling up. I think I even showed it, although the screen probably froze, but your ship does level up, and every 4 levels your ship gets bigger and stronger, and it gets more weapons and stuff. And there's a bunch of other weapons you can buy in the game. But obviously, if I did make like a Star Foxy spiritual successor of this game, I'd probably do more detail. I'd probably make it so you can level up the individual weapons too. There's so much that could be done with this. Like, if you guys know of any game similar to this, I know I mentioned it earlier, let me know in the chat, because I would like to play a lot more games like this to kind of see what's been done in the last 25 years. Because I find it hard to believe this particular genre kind of hasn't gone anywhere in 25 years. As far as why it says player 2, I have no idea. The first day I played this, it was in player 1, but the next day I played it, it kept appearing in player slot 2. So I don't know why it's in player 2, but it doesn't affect the game, so there's no problem with it being in player 2 slot. Let's see what else. I see actually quite a lot of comments. Oh, it's just all you guys mentioning about OBS freaking out. Star Control 2. Is Star Control the game by Stardock actually? Cause let me see, Star Control 2. I think that's the Stardock game. Oh no, it's by Toys for Bob. What's the Star Control game? What's the game, guys? What's the game I'm thinking of made by Stardock that has Star in the name? I thought it was Star Control, but apparently it isn't. Star Control is apparently made by Toys for Bob, which I didn't even know Toys for Bob existed back then. Let's see, Star Control 2. So if Star Control 2 is like this, I'll go ahead. I'll definitely look into it because I love these type of games. Anyway, let's see. Stardock made... Oh, they made a Star Control game. Alright, because, yeah, I seem to remember in Galactic Civilizations there was a DLC that added all the Star Control aliens to the game. That's when I first heard about that. And also, I love Stardock games. Like, Sins of a Solar Empire is one of my favorite games ever. Galactic Civilizations is awesome. What other Stardock games have I played? Oh, Ashes of the Singularity. That game is awesome. A lot of Stardock games have long, windy titles, like Sins of a Solar Empire and Ashes of the Singularity. But man, those games are so good. Ashes is such an awesome game. I really hope they make a second one soon. But they just made the second Sins of a Solar Empire a few months ago, and it's so good. So, yeah, I'll definitely try out Star Control and I guess Star Control Origins, especially if it's like this game. But anyway, let me go back to the game where I was the not the boss I was currently on, because I need to level up a lot to fight that boss. So I'll just blaze through some of the earlier bosses with the Nomad to kind of show you guys some of the stuff in this game. Actually, if I remember right, the second mission is delivering a bunch of food somewhere, so... Let's see, who... Okay, there you go. Yeah, I have to deliver the construction materials. To help that starbase repair from the boss. So this is a boring mission. That's one of the other mission types in this game. Thankfully, there's not a lot of them where you pick up something at a starbase and you deliver it to another starbase, and it's really boring. Where is it? Yeah, there's the food. Hope my voice isn't too annoying. I can kind of hear my voice through the speakers of the other computer. I don't know, the sound of my voice I feel like is so annoying. Anyway, let's deliver the construction materials to Babylon 5. And thankfully it looks like OBS is working, so I think I did solve it. Anyway, is there anything I can buy here? Let's see. Armada burner. Your main weapon slows the Armada's speed. That sounds potentially useful. Most of the enemies in this game are pretty slow, though, already, and my ship's pretty fast, so I don't think I'll use that one. Power turbine? Nah. Yeah, as you level up, more weapons and stuff appear at these shops, and I haven't seen these ones yet. Energy cycler is possibly pretty useful. Power rod? Nah. I already have the missiles. Plated emitter. Increases maximum armor and shield strength. That one might be a little bit useful, but the items that I really want at this point are ones that reduce the cost of energy to shoot projectiles, because actually this one increases energy regen rate and max energy. That one I might. Do I have enough money? I don't have enough money for that one. I might get the energy battery at some point. That'll let me shoot projectiles longer before the bar depletes, and it'll be bigger too, so I'll be able to shoot way more before I can't do rapid fire anymore. Those are the kind of power-ups I'm looking for now. Because as you'll see, I'll demonstrate it. You'll see the little yellow bar above the ship. When you fire projectiles, it goes down, and it goes down really fast. And when you zoom, when you use your afterburners, it goes down too. Although I have an item that makes it so your afterburners only drain half the bar, so that I can kind of like glide around enemies when I use the afterburner. But yeah, I actually feel like it's probably not so bad after you've leveled up up your ship a lot. But I feel like that bar doesn't last long enough to really do much. I feel like the energy bar is pretty punishing early in the game. Or rather, it doesn't seem to the energy bar doesn't seem to get big. It doesn't seem to increase in its size enough as you level up, because your projectiles seem to their fire rate seems to go up as you gain levels. But because the energy bar doesn't go up enough, it actually feels like you're not able to shoot as much before the bar depletes. So, yeah. Space fog. Yeah, I haven't noticed it with just I've noticed it with a lot of games around 1999. Funnily enough, there's another game with Armada in the title. It's a Star Trek game. It also has that space fog effect. And then there was another game called Starfleet Command that had that flat space fog effect. For some reason, a bunch of space games around 1999, they had the weird flat space fog effect. I don't know if that's what you were mentioning, Clash Crash, but I don't know. Maybe it was just a weird thing in 1999, like a fad to have like a space fog effect in space.
I have fought huge skeletal beasts on the desert planet.
Yes, I know you have. Okay, where's the next mission?
And the Scarab used to be one people, but we split because we don't like implants.
Who gives the next mission? There we go. Deliver the another delivery mission. Fun. It was 1999. It was a different time. It was before people were bored of delivery missions. Okay, actually they stack. Quite. I didn't know that the beams stack. That's awesome. I didn't know the missiles stack either. I was experimenting with the item that increases the amount of experience and credits you get from enemies. And there's one that combines those two, and it looked like all three of those items stacked, but I wasn't sure if duplicate items actually stacked in this game, and I couldn't find anything online. But if the beam emitter stacks, then yeah, I'm gonna save up for another beam emitter, because the beam weapon's really useful against the smaller enemies. It basically one-shots all of the smaller enemies. So I'm gonna actually probably have enough money for another beam torch. So I will go to the Nomad Starbase and get another beam torch. Actually, how much money do I have? Okay, I definitely have enough money for a beam torch, so deliver the dog food. Well, I'll come back and deliver the dog food. I'm gonna go to the Nomad Starbase and get the beam weapon and see if it. I'm gonna see if it stacks, like Coid in the audience suggests. Oh, thank you, Lord of Creation, for not being annoyed by my voice. I think it's one of those things, because I know other people who are really annoyed by their own voice. I've always, whenever I've heard my own voice recorded, I kind of like cringe. Something about my own voice really bothers me. I think it's because it doesn't sound like how my voice actually sounds when I'm thinking about how I sound, and that kind of like disconnect just was really off-putting to me. And I suspect maybe it's a bit of a narcissist thing, I don't know, but I know quite a lot of other people that have the same problem where they can't stand the sound of their own voice, but it's definitely a me thing. I can't understand I can't stand the sound of my own voice. Let's see, your voice is not enough. Oh, thank you, Coid. Okay, I think, if I remember right, the beam torch is at this starbase. There's the Scorcher. I can't remember what it looked like. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, Torch Saber, that's it. Alright, let me buy another Torch Saber. And let's see if the beams stack. If it doesn't stack, you owe me 1,800 credits, sir. Alright, let me go to my inventory. And let's see, I'll swap it out with the missiles, because the missiles... Wait, oh crap, I didn't actually buy it. Whoops, let me go back to the starbase, I forgot to buy it. Yeah, it's a psychological thing WaveCube says about the voices. Yeah, Wolfwind. As far as I know, it's pretty common to dislike the sound of your own voice, but I do know people that... I don't mean this in a negative way, but I do know people that love the sound of their own voice, so it is possible for people to really like the sound of their own voice, but... I don't know. Anyway, let me go buy the beam weapon again, because apparently I didn't actually buy it. There we go, now I actually bought it. And let me go equip it. And let's see if it stacks. I'll swap it out with the missile weapon. Whoops, wrong button. Swap you out with the missiles, and let's see if it stacks. I only saw one beam there, but maybe I need tons of enemies. Or maybe it reduces the fire rate of the beam. Here, let me fly around into a huge swarm of enemies so I can really test out the beam. I think at about 20,000. If you'll notice under the radar, there's like a pair of coordinates, and the further out you go, either the bigger the enemies get or the more numerous they get. It depends on what direction you go in, but after about like 25,000 in any direction, the enemies get pretty ridiculous in size and numbers, so right about here should be good. So let me fly around in a circle so that a giant swarm of enemies can build up and I can test out the beam. I have a feeling the beam thing, it doesn't stack. I have a feeling if it does, it reduces the fire rate of the beam. I guess we'll find out in a second. I can't really tell. I think it doesn't look like there's two beams, so I think it's just reducing the fire rate of the beam, which is still good. I was hoping I could get like 4 beams and then I would just be firing like all these different beams at the same time at different enemies. That would have been really cool. But I think it doesn't. I think it just reduces the fire rate of the beam. But I'm not 100% sure. There's so little documentation on this game online that it's I don't know, it's hard for me to be sure. But I like the beam more than the missiles, so I'll keep that item equipped. Yeah, I like the design of these things here. They look really cool. Anyway, there's a ship over here. I guess I'll escort him. It's a Draken ship. Yeah, this little thing right here. Oh, well, the ones that look like boomerangs. I'm sure more of them will show up soon. I think those ones look really cool. Oh, hey, a little helper. Little boxy Terran ship. Yeah, these things right here, that thing I just destroyed, those things that look like boomerangs, they have a really cool, I really like the design of those things. This is an entertaining game to watch. Alright, you have fun, oh, there's a giant boomerang one. You have fun, fast T quick, and maybe I'll hop into your stream if I end this one. Oh, I just gained a level, awesome. Anyway, thanks for checking out this really old game on the stream. Let's see. Yeah, these escort missions, they get really boring after a while. This game really needed more side missions. I think that's like the one like really fatal flaw of this game is the lack of variety of missions you're doing. Like I was saying earlier, there's basically only three types of missions in this game. There's go destroy a boss, deliver an item to a starbase, and escort a ship to a random location. And the escort ones are side missions. So yeah, I feel like there should have been more variety in objectives. Like I feel like there should have been like maybe a defend a starbase mission where you go to a starbase that's under attack. And you have to, like, hold your ground in a central area against, like, waves of enemies or something. I think that would have been really simple and easy for them to do. That would have been really cool. But, or maybe, like, I'm trying to think of other things that they could have done. But it's hard for me to multitask, so I'm having trouble thinking of ideas while I'm blowing all these things up. I don't know, there's a scanner ability in the game, so I felt like they probably could have done some kind of like exploration kind of mission where you use the scanner. Like maybe you're looking for like ancient artifacts on a planet or something. I don't know. There's a few different things they could have done that they didn't, but that's definitely like the main noticeable flaw of this game is there's not a lot of variety as to the kind of missions that you do. Okay, I love those boomerang ships. They look really cool. I like how they orbit around their targets too. It's really cool. A lot of the enemy behavior in this game is pretty simplistic. They kind of just run at you and shoot, but there's a few enemies that have some like really interesting attack patterns, like these boomerang things that orbit around you. There's a few bosses that have some really cool attack patterns, but you know, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the screaming effects of all of the, whenever you kill the Armada ships, like, they make these, like, really creepy scream sound effects. It definitely reminds me of the shadows in Babylon 5, and it's just, I don't know, it's really cool. Oh, that ship is about to get destroyed. I'll hang out with him until he gets blown up. Yeah, I think the beam is firing more frequently. I think the only way that I'll really be able to determine if it fires more frequently is if I get 4 of them and see if it just fires really, really quickly. Which I'll definitely test. Whoa, I've never seen that one before. That, like, little crab one. I've never seen that one before. Yeah, there's like a little crabby one. Or maybe I have seen it before. It's just been so long since I played this game I don't remember it. Like these little crab creatures. Ooh, another power pod. Let's see, what coordinates am I at? 13,000 by 24,000. Yeah, I've never seen these crab ones. It looks like they hang out in this asteroid belt here. I probably have seen these crab aliens before. I just don't remember them because it's been 25 years since I played this game. I really, like, I distinctly remember those trilobite ones and the giant skeleton ones, but I'm having trouble remembering these crab ones. Anyway, there's another ship that needs to be escorted, so I guess I will go escort the ship. And I see quite a few comments, so I'll check out the comments really quick. See, if I supply at least a good chunk of music, sprites, and sound effects, would you be willing to work on a game with me? Clash Crash, it really depends. I know I'm playing a game right now, so I'm gonna sound like a bit of a hypocrite, but like I'm super busy with the Star Fox game right now that I don't really know if I can spare time to really. If it's like a really simple thing that I can help out with in like 5 minutes to an hour, I might be willing to, but I'm so busy right now that I don't know if I can actually. I don't think I could dedicate time to working on someone else's game, especially for free. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say for now no, but because I'm just too busy. Leonazard. Oh, Leonazard mentioned Submarine Titans. Yes, I do have that game. It's a really cool game. I bought it again on Good Old Games about a year ago, which the timing was really ironic. If anyone remembers what happened a year ago with submarines and Titan, like I bought the game Submarine Titans like not long before that happened, so the timing was really coincidental. But yes, I played Submarine Titans. It's a really cool little underwater RTS. That's another game that I felt like should have got a sequel, or at least another. Someone should have made another underwater RTS game. There's another game that is kind of an RTS, but not really. That does let you go underwater. I can't remember the number, but it's called Anno, and then I think it's like 2100 or something. It's more of a city building game though, but that was a city building game that had an RTS mechanic where you have a navy in the. Sorry, I'm having hiccups all of a sudden. You have like a navy that you control like an RTS in the water, and you can also go underwater in the DLC. But it's not really a full blown RTS, but oh my god. Was that really in 2023? No, that was 2024. The Titan thing, that was not was that seriously 2023? Not. Oh my god. Then it was about 2 years ago I got the Submarine Titan game then. I mean, I can find this out. I can go to Good Old Games and see when the last time I played it was. But my sense of time is so messed up. Like, yeah, the years are just going by so quickly. I can't believe that was 2020. No, you're messing with me. I gotta look this up. Let me look up when this happened. Was it 20? Oh my god, it was 2023. Where is the time going? That was 2023. I mean, yeah, I realized it the other day. We were doing a patron chat with Estelle, and Gagnatar came into the patron chat, and I was talking to him for a bit there, and I realized, oh my god, it's almost been 3 years since I met Estelle. Like, it's already been almost 3 years since I met her and we started working on the Star Fox thing. I can't believe how quick the time is going by lately. It's crazy. Yeah, I seriously thought the whole Titan submarine thing happened last year. I didn't realize that was almost 2 years ago now. That's just crazy. Oh, man. Oh, Clear Skies. Hello. Did you play this game, Clear Skies, back in the day? Yeah, it's I don't think it's split screen. If I remember right, it's all shared screen, and the players have to move together for the screen to go. But from what I remember, their original plan for this game when they started making it in 1998 is they wanted to make it online where you could play, and they want it to be more like an MMO where there's hundreds of ships flying around, and it was gonna be one of the first games that used the Dreamcast online feature. But I don't remember the details, but I think they got in over their heads and they realized they couldn't pull it off before the Dreamcast launched. So they kind of just made it a 4-player co-op game, which I don't know, it's still awesome with just 4 players. But when they were making the second one, they were going to make it online with up to 8 players, I think, but then the second Armada game got canceled, which is one of the biggest disappointments in my entire life. I'm so sad that Armada's Revenge was canceled because it looked really cool, what they showed of it. And then when the guy bought the rights back to Armada, and he was making a fully online version on the PC in like 2005, that one didn't get finished, although there is an alpha build of it you can download. But that one was sadly never finished. So this game never really got past the first game. It just... I don't know if it was just bad timing or just unfortunate circumstances, but the legacy of Armada is cursed, unfortunately. But one day I'm gonna make my own version of this game with anthros and blackjack and hookers. So one of these days there'll be a proper kind of sequel to this. Oh, of course I see a bunch more comments as soon as I unpause it. I see, yeah, people talking about the Submarine Titan game. It is a pretty good game. It's a really clunky game, though, as far as, like, the controls for it. The controls for Submarine Titans hasn't aged very well, but it's a really cool concept. Oh, that's awesome, Clear Skies, if you've played this game. If I do end up making like an anthro version of this game, I might get together a few well-known like Star Fox artists to design design different characters for the game that you can play as. I think that'd be kind of cool. I have this idea in my head that the main character obviously is going to be like Fox McCloud, so he'll be a fox, but I don't know, I was thinking of putting him in like a Napoleonic uniform or whatever, making him like this really like kind of, I don't know, this kind of like pirate mercenary guy. And then the second character I had was basically like the psychic, the crystal-like character, like a psychic goat lady where her horns were made of crystals. And whenever she used her psychic abilities, the horns would start to glow. And kind of like the Vorgons in this game, she'd be able to guide her projectiles to home in on enemies. I think that'd be really cool. But I haven't really thought of any character ideas beyond that. But if I do make this game one day, I might commission some of the more famous Star Fox artists to each design a character for the game. Like I'll probably commission Sorbin and Jack Brush to make. I don't know. I still got to finish the Star Fox Event Horizon first, though, so I shouldn't think too far ahead. But someone, yeah, Koid, you mentioned Conquest Frontier Wars. It's basically Armada, the RTS. Conquest Frontier Wars is a really awesome game, and yeah, the visuals of that game actually do look a bit like Armada, like especially like the Mantis. So yeah, that it kind of does feel like it could be in the same setting, kind of. Now that I think about it, but yeah, Conquest Frontier Wars. That's another game that they were making a sequel for it, and then shit happened behind the scenes, and it got canceled. I would have loved a second Conquest Frontier Wars. That would have been awesome. Wow, now the comments are flooding in. I might just turn this into a Q&A stream. Do you guys just want to turn this into a Q&A stream, or have you seen enough of this game? I think I've been going for like an hour now. I've been going for an hour and a half now. Holy crap. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, my sense of time is just gone. Like an hour and a half to me is 5 minutes. And a year to me is apparently only a few months, and 2 years is a year, so now you make me remember the old game, the old UFO game. Is that UFO game based on the old TV show from the 70s called UFO? Because I love that show. I don't know if that probably isn't related to that, but if that game is related to that, I might have to check it out. Let's see. Wow, UFO Aftermath. That does sound familiar. Maybe was that on the Game Boy? Let me look that up. UFO Aftermath. Oh, it looks like an RTS? No, I've never heard of this, but apparently it's like a turn-based tactics kind of. Oh, yeah, like you were saying, like XCOM. No, I've not heard of that game. See, Crash, the game I wanted to make, I don't really care if make money. Money isn't really much of an object. Fortunately, I'm unemployed, at least at the moment. I don't have enough. I mean, I guess I don't know, you could go ahead and send me some ideas or whatever. I really don't think I'll have the time, because quite a few people have asked me to help with their games, and I really don't think I have the time I don't think I have the time to sit down and like help people with other games, especially because, you know, quite a few people have tried to ask, but I don't know if, like, I could answer questions about things probably. That probably won't take me long. But I don't know. I don't think, and also I'm not really much of a programmer. Like, I know people seem to think I'm a programmer, but really I'm not. I'm more of the artist kind of guy myself. So I don't know if I don't know if I could really help with especially if it's like from scratch using a package or a library or something. I don't know. I really don't think I have the time. I'm really struggling to make my own original stuff right now, and I'm pretty much completely focused on Star Fox Event Horizon. But yeah. Guys, let me know. Should I just turn this into a Q&A stream, or should I play a little bit more? I've been going for an hour and a half, so maybe I'll just kind of do a Q&A for a bit and then go eat some lunch. I don't know. That didn't feel like an hour and a half, though. That felt like 10 to 15 minutes. But there's a lot more enemy types in this game, but as far as the gameplay loop, I pretty much shown you guys the gameplay loop of this game. It's pretty simplistic, but it's really addicting, and it's really fun, and I'm really sad they never made a second Armada. And one of these days I will. I just don't know. I don't know if I'll do it right when I'm done with my Star Fox game, or when I finish my other original game, which I have been working on in the background, but I'm tempted to do this one first, though, because I feel like this game would be really easy to recreate in Unreal, because it's really simple. You're just flying around, shooting stuff, gaining levels, gaining power-ups, and buying items and stuff from star bases. I really feel like it'd be pretty easy to recreate in Unreal, and then I just flesh it out, you know, with the different ships and characters and stuff. I could probably do it relatively quickly, and then if people like it, then I could add in a story and crap and all the cinematics after it's done. But, anyway, yeah, guys, let me know if you want to do a Q&A, or, oh, Coyd said I should keep murdering the Armada, so maybe I'll deliver the food mix. Shame the ending sucks. I don't remember what the ending of this game was. Because the last time I played this game was probably in like 2003 or 2004 or 2005, somewhere around there. I don't remember what the ending of this game was. I do remember you could keep playing after you beat the game, and you can level up, and then you can keep going out further and further into deep space, and the enemies keep getting bigger and stronger until they're like impossible to kill. But if I remember right, the enemies at the very edge of space are invulnerable and you can't kill them, but I don't remember, because again, it's been so long since I played it. But I don't remember the ending to the game. But I'll deliver the food mix before I get off. Huh, now I don't hear anything. Oh, there's the sound. I couldn't hear any sound for a second there. That was weird. So I'll go deliver the food mix while I'm waiting for people to respond to the question I asked. Actually, it'll be faster for me to just fast travel home and then go to the starbase in orbit. Let's go buy that food mix. Actually, I don't think I have room in my inventory for the food mix. Let me check. Yeah, I'm going to have to sell something to get the food mix. What should I sell? No, don't jettison. I think I'll sell the Armada scalpel. I get so much credits, I don't really care about salvaging technology from the Armada ships, and I don't think there's any unique items you can get from salvaging them. So I'll sell the Ultratech scanner thing. So where is it? Is this it, or is it this one? Yeah, that's it. The Armada scalpel. So I'll go and sell you. And let me buy the food, which I think is this one. Yeah, there's the food mix. I don't know. I feel like the items you have to deliver should be free. I know they barely cost anything, but that kind of annoys me that they're not free. And, actually, I don't know if I bought... Okay, I bought it. Let me go deliver the food mix. Let's see. While I'm zooming there, I'll look at the comments. Koi. The ending was the quest giver stops giving new missions and just says the Armada is closing in on us. All enemies go way up in level to the point that enemies at the home planet... Okay, I think I vaguely... I remember the enemies getting super hard to kill at some point. That was probably what I'm remembering. There should have been like a New Game Plus at that point where it restarts the game, but kind of like... You know, it sounds like they made all the enemies more powerful when you beat the game. They should have let you go through the whole game again where all the bosses are more difficult. That would have been kind of cool. Or maybe they do. Maybe the bosses are more difficult. I don't know. There's like so little documentation for this game that I don't know.
Well done.
Alright, there. I delivered the food mix. Let's go back to the home world and get to the next boss, which I think is the giant... one with the egg pods on it.
Consult with the Eldred to learn of their troubles. They need you.
Armor repair. Okay, where's an Eldred?
20,000 years old.
Yes.
The Armada unit that is attacking our station will soon be destroyed.
Alright, I think this boss is pretty easy too, so I'll go destroy this one. Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the game doesn't loop, but they should have done that. They should have made it so that when you beat the game, it resets the game on a loop, but all the enemies are bigger and stronger. Also, I feel like something that really would have helped this game a lot is more ships you can unlock. There's nothing you can really unlock in this game, at least that I'm aware of. I really feel like this type of game really lends itself to unlocking like different ships and items and stuff. But there's nothing you can unlock in this game as far as I'm aware. Oh, there. Okay, no, this isn't the boss I was thinking. Although this one's pretty easy. If I remember right, this one actually runs away from you after it fires a little bit. And yeah, it's got that little flamethrower attack that I might have used for Farah Phoenix in my Star Fox game. Yeah, it's running away. Repair. Almost killed her. Or, there we go. That was a really easy boss. You kill all the little baby versions. Yeah, they turn invisible, which is really annoying. There's an item you can get. Actually, I think I have the item right now. There's an item you can get that lets your attacks hit enemies that turn invisible, which is really useful. But I don't use it very often because there's not that many enemies in the game that can turn invisible. But there's a... No, that's an... Oh yeah, this is at the X probe. So let me equip that, and then I can hit those ones that turn invisible. What should I swap it out with? I'll swap it out with the Phoenix Rocket, which the Phoenix Rocket doesn't seem to be that useful of a weapon. I'd never gotten it before, so I thought I'd try it, but the Phoenix Rocket does... Whoops, wrong button. The Phoenix Rocket doesn't seem to be that great of a weapon, but there, that should let me hit the invisible ships when they turn invisible. Awesome. Oh man, my aim is really bad on those tiny ships because they're so small. Yeah, that item that lets you hit invisible ships is really useful. At least when you're fighting invisible ships. But again, there's not that many. Well, there's... Actually, I'll go to it now. There is one area that... Let me go back to the homeworld first. There is one area with tons of invisible ships, and they got like a really, really creepy design, so I'll go check those out, and I'll test this item on them. I just repair my ship first and get some more power pods.
Get out there and fight. Together we can defeat the Armada and rule space.
Let's see. Koid says, if I remember, there's rare Ultratech drops if you kill enough enemies on rare planets. That is where I got, I did get an Ultratech on the jungle planet, which I think is the first time I ever got an Ultratech in this game. I don't ever remember getting, Ultratech from killing enemies when I played this game 25 years ago, but I got the item I sold, the item that makes it easier to get Ultratech from defeating enemies, which I thought was kind of funny. But let me go to, I think it's 25,000. It's past the Drake and Starbase. There's an area of space with all these invisible enemies that I'll be able to test this item on, or really get use out of it. They're like these pulsating, like, tube creatures that just look really gross, and they all can turn invisible. Oh, there's one of them. Yeah, these things right here. These things kind of remind me of the shadows a little bit from Babylon 5. I can't tell if it's actually working. Am I hitting them while they're invisible? It doesn't look like it's working, actually. Did I unequip it? No, I got it. I got it right there. Don't jettison it. I keep... See, Armada probe. They can't subdivide, and you hit phased units. It doesn't look like it's working on them. Oh, no, it's working. I just wasn't aiming. Their hitbox is really small though. That's weird. Yeah, the hitbox for these creatures is really small. Like, it's much smaller than the actual mesh. But yeah, it's working on the invisible ones. That's cool. So yeah, that thing that lets you hit invisible enemies is really useful in this area of space. Against these things. They're like giant jars with like tubes on them. We go a little bit deeper where there's some bigger ones. Okay, there's a planet over there. There might be... I can't remember what planet this is over here. Oh, it's Zonus. Let's go down to Zonus and see what's going on here. One of the bosses is on this planet later in the game, I think. Oh, there's probably a bunch of those things here that turn invisible, though. Yep. Those tube pots that turn invisible. Oh, crap. I died right away. These guys are level 15, so they're about my level. They shouldn't be too hard to kill. Yeah, level 15. Anyway, I think I've tested out the shooting invisible item. Seems like it works. Let's drop a power pod and blow them all up. Let's see. Alright, let me look at the comments. When the enemy are everywhere, why are... Oh yeah, the Armada are everywhere in this game. That's basically the premise, is one day, thousands of years ago, the Armada just showed up and has wiped out basically every inhabitable planet, except for one planet, which is the one everyone's huddled up on. And they don't know why they showed up. They don't know why they don't know why the Armada are attacking them. They're trying to communicate with them, but you never find out what the Armada are, or like what their objective is, or like why they're doing what they're doing, which I kind of like that they're really mysterious, and you only get kind of glimpses as to what's going on with them, but you never actually find out, like, all you find out about them is they're extremely old. You find out one of the bosses you fight, the lady that's studying it, she's like, oh, this creature is almost 20,000 years old. It's the oldest known living thing in the universe, or whatever. So, you find out that the Armada are super ancient, and that's basically it. You don't find out where they came from, you don't find out why they're attacking everyone, you just find out they're super old. And they ignore planets that don't have any interstellar travel, so I'm a little bit disappointed you never actually find out about them, but I also kind of like that they're still a mystery at the end of the game, and you never really find out about where they came from or what they are. Another thing that would have made this game interesting. Now, there's a bunch of different creatures, and there's a bunch of different creature variety. But one thing I thought would have... There is one example of what I'm about to say in this game, but they should have had different enemy factions that you could fight other than the Armada. And there is one in this game. They're called the Marauders. There's one planet in this game with all of these... just kind of like giant battleships and fighters and stuff that you can fight. I feel like there should have been more factions like that in the game that you can fight, like different spacefaring civilizations that haven't allied with each other, that are also under attack by the Armada, but they're not friendly to you. In this game, the Marauders, they do somehow find a way to communicate with the Armada, though, and they've allied with them. So That's why the Armada seems to be leaving them alone on this planet. But that would have been really cool to have more non-Armada enemies that are alien civilizations that you could fight. And if I do my Armada ripoff game, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have different factions that you can take contracts from that all kind of fight each other. I think that'd be really cool. But just think about it for a second. Like, Star Fox would fit really, really good in a game like this, where you're a mercenary flying around, upgrading your ships with your squadron or whatever. Even the Armada themselves, they're kind of like the Aperoids, so you can have Venom and the different normal enemies, and then you have the Aperoids just slowly encroaching in from all directions onto Corneria. So I don't know. I think Star Fox could fit in a style of game like this, but if I do it though, it'll be an original setting though. I won't be doing a Star Fox fan game like this. But anyway, I'm just babbling now. I don't see any more questions, so I don't know, guys. Chat seems to be going a little bit kind of quiet, so maybe it's a good point to wrap up soon. Let me see what items this store has. Oh, this is the Draken Star base, or the gas mining base, I think. I don't think there's that many good items here. Decrease energy. Actually, that's a really good item. That lets me fire way more shots before the bar depletes, and it allows weapons to do critical hits. So that's actually a really good item. Okay, I already have the X scanner. I have the spectral scanner. I don't need the Ultra Tech. Energy, but that's kind of useful, but this one's better, I think. The Penetrator. Quite play Pirate Yakuza. I've heard a few things about that game. I've heard it's pretty good, but I've actually never played any of the Yakuza games, but I don't know. I don't know if that's my style of game. Leonazard, now that I think about it, yeah, this game does kind of... The premise of the premise of this game does kind of sound like Mass Effect, but like after Mass Effect 3, if you never defeated the Reapers, where all the planets are destroyed, and yeah, all the different allied, like the Citadel races, they're all on like one planet. So yeah, I think a Mass Effect, a game like this could work in the Mass Effect universe now that I think about it. Or you could play as the humans or the Asari or the how come I'm forgetting what they're called? Rex's species. What the hell are they called? The big roly-poly guys. Wow, I can't remember what they're called. The Krogans, yeah, I couldn't remember them for a second. What are some of the other ones you could play as? Yeah, the collectors in Mass Effect kind of remind me of the Armada, even the way they look. Although the collectors also remind me of the Shadows in Babylon 5. But anyway, yeah, Krogan, that was. I can't believe I forgot what they were called for a second there. But yeah, a Mass Effect game could work in this kind of format, I think. Especially if you add like the branching conversation paths when you talk to ships, like. Oh, Coid's bringing up a bunch of examples. Drox Operative 1, never heard of it. Star Control I have heard of, I just didn't realize it was this type of game. Escape Velocity, Knave, never heard of that one. Never heard of Reality Break, Star Valor, and Star... I've never heard of, except for Star Control, I've never heard of any of those games. Yeah, Krogan. Yeah, I'm like a minute ahead of you guys in the chat. Leonazard Star Trek. Actually, I never played it, but I actually think there is a Star Trek game that is similar to this. I think it's called Star Trek Encounters. It looks similar. I've never played it though, but it looks like you're kind of like in this game. You're a little ship going around, and then enemy ships are just coming from the edge of the screens like in asteroids. So that Star Trek game might be similar to this one, but I'm not sure because I've never played it. If anyone's played it, though, and let me know. I think it was called Star Trek Encounters. I think it came out only like a year or two after this game also. But I've never played it. Anyway, let me know if you guys want me to keep playing this game or not. And I'll leave the Starbase and I'll play some more, or I'll just do a Q&A. But I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm probably going to get off in 10 minutes anyway. Star Trek Encounters and Star Trek Conquest. Oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I remember Star Trek Conquest was there was a mode in it where, or not a mode, but there's like a segment in it where it's like a top-down shooter where you're flying around and shooting stuff. But that was like a smaller part of the game where it was also like a turn-based game where you're going you're conquering different areas of space or whatever. I vaguely remember Star Trek Conquest. I never actually owned it, but I remember a friend had it on the Wii, I think. But Star Trek Encounters was a game I remember seeing, but I never actually played, and I don't know a bunch about it. But from what I remember, Star Trek Encounters looked kind of like this Armada game. So that might be one I might need to dig up and give a try, because I like Star Trek a lot, and I've played a lot of Star Trek games, but there's a few stragglers I haven't played, and that's one of them. Let's see, Nano Assault Neo. I'll check out. I'll look through this chat when I'm done. I'll make a list and I'll look into these games that might or might not be like Armada. Space Battle Zero, Strike Suit Zero. I remember Strike Suit Zero. That's a game like Star Fox, I think, though, if I remember right. Star Citizen's just become a huge meme. I don't know if I'll ever try Star Citizen. Yeah, if I remember right, in Star Trek Conquest, one of the cool things about it is you could play as the Breen, which has never, as far as I'm aware, that's not the case in any other Star Trek game. And the Breen are probably one of, if not my favorite enemy group in Star Trek. So that was really cool that you could actually play as them in a Star Trek game. The Breen are really, really cool. Although I heard in the new Star Trek show, they finally revealed what the Breen actually look like. And apparently they're like Jello things, which if you've played the really old tabletop Star Trek RPG, like the Dungeons and Dragons ripoff of Star Trek, that is what the Breen were. It said that they were like slugs. They're like these jelly creatures. So that kind of aligns to some of the periphery lore that they added to the Breen way back, 25 years ago. But I did not like the new Star Trek show at all, so I didn't keep up with it. But apparently the Breen are in the new Star Trek show, and they become like the villains in the last season. But No Man's Sky I think is more like a third or is it No Man's Sky first person? When I'm talking about games similar to this, I mean like games where it's a top-down camera and it's kind of like Asteroids where all the enemies are coming from the edge of the screen. See, the Breen ships are unique compared to the rest of Star Trek ships. Yeah, that's one of the things that really makes them stand out too. Is the aesthetic of all their stuff is really stands out, especially at the time that DS9 was out. Their designs really stand out compared to all the other ships and stuff in Star Trek. And the Breen themselves, like their language is all like this weird electronic garble, and you don't know what they look like too. So they're basically an entire species of Boba Fett. Before the Star Wars prequels came out and you found out all about Boba Fett. But anyway. Sorry if this is off topic, but would you be willing to answer a random lore question about your old Hyrule Total War game? Sure. I'll answer a question, but I might have forgotten the answer to it because it's been a while since I've thought about the old Hyrule Total War game. But I see a bunch of people asking questions, so I guess we'll just turn this into a Q&A stream. I'll probably just end the stream for now. I'll answer some questions for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to eat some lunch. Actually, it's almost dinner time here. I didn't even realize how late it was. My goodness. Leonazard, it could make a great space game with Stargate. Oh my god, I finally... Okay, the Stargate movie I saw when it came out. I saw it in theaters, and as a kid, I loved that Stargate movie. I had the toys when I was a kid. But I never saw the TV show when it came out, and I'd always been meaning to see it for years and years and years and years. And then it was on Netflix like 5 or 6 years ago, and then I'm like, I'm finally going to watch it. And then I watched like the first few episodes, and then they took it off of Netflix. And then finally, this last year, I finally watched through all of Stargate, the SG-1, Atlantis, and Stargate Universe. And yeah, I'm really glad I finally finally watched that whole show. That's a show I would have loved as a kid. I'm really disappointed I didn't watch it when it was live back in the day, but they really should have made more There are a few Stargate games, but they're not very good from what I could tell. And there's a really good Stargate mod though for Sins of a Solar Empire that lets you play as the Tauri, the Gould, and the Atlanteans. And I think they let you play as the Asgard too. I think it's called Stargate Invasion. It's a mod for Sins of a Solar Empire. It's a really, really cool mod. You can summon like the different system lords when you're playing as the Gould, and I highly recommend that. But other than that, yeah, there's been like no good Stargate games, and I'm kind of shocked. Like, actually, there was a new Stargate game that just came out a few months ago. Was it called Timekeepers or something? It's kind of like an XCOM game. Maybe I should try that one out. But yeah, Stargate's a cool little series. I'm kind of shocked I didn't watch it when I was a kid, but I finally watched all of it a year ago. Although in Neffy time, a year ago is probably 2 or 3 years ago now. Anyway, let me look for that question. Okay, thanks. What was the significance of Demoko turning into a tree when he died? I think I can kind of answer that question, but that was kind of related to Majora's thing was going to be connected to trees and stuff because of the tree in Majora's Mask when you go to the moon, like he's under that giant tree. That was going to kind of be like Majora's signature thing is he would basically all of the different I guess you could call them enemies that he was picking off would become trees whenever they were defeated. They turned into a tree. There's a little more symbolism going on behind that too that I kind of picked up on, but on the service level, basically that was kind of like, you know, on Batman when the Joker kills someone, he'll leave his Joker card behind or whatever. That was kind of gonna be like Majora's like his like signature thing. Whenever he had accomplished something, a tree would grow over his victim. That idea kind of came from the fact that he's under like that giant tree in the moon in Majora's Mask. So hopefully that answers that question. See, Neffy being the meme of the first movie star was Obi-Wan of being old. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Leonazard. See, I'd kill for a game about Babylon 5. I wish to fly the Star Fury. Now, in 1998, they were making a Babylon 5 game where you fly around as a Star Fury, and it was canceled, sadly, but a pretty decent build of it's actually available for download. It's called Babylon 5 Into the Fire. I would highly recommend checking it out because that game was awesome for what they finished of it, but it was canceled, sadly. But get the Babylon 5 games made in free space. They're really good. There's a few of them. There's one set during the Earth Minbari War that's really good, and then what was the other one? There's like 2 or 3 really good Babylon 5 games that have been made in the free space engine where you can fly around as a Star Fury, and you can unlock other ships. You can unlock the Centauri and the Nard and the Minbari fighters, and I highly recommend that. Like, and there's voice acting in it and everything. Like, look up the Babylon 5 games on free space. They're really good. Actually, those are kind of the games that kind of inspired me to even make Star Fox Event Horizon when I realized, like, wow, these fans just made Babylon 5 games in free space. There's a really good Battlestar Galactica game made in free space too. I think it's called Beyond the Red Line. That was one of the first ones I played too for free space. It's really good. Let's see. Lord of Creation's got a question. Here's a question for Hyrule Conquest. If the Akala faction gets made, how would its roster be made up between the Ancient Hellions, Wind Tribe, and Picori? I have a few different documents for how I would have done Akala, but I don't want to sound like a downer, but I don't think I'm going to go back to Hyrule Conquest. If I do, I'll probably just finish the Tweely and then kind of leave it at that. But honestly, like, I'm so done with Zelda. I don't know. If I ever get back into Zelda, it'll probably be to make like an N64 ROM hack. I really think the fire for Zelda is just gone now. Like, I haven't really been doing any Zelda stuff at all. I made a model of Midna for Halloween as kind of like a Halloween thing, but other than that, I haven't really done any Zelda stuff in over a year now. I think February is when I released the River Zora last year. I'm so done with Zelda. Maybe after I take a long enough break, I can get back into it. But I worked on Hyrule Conquest and Total War. I've worked on Zelda stuff since 2005, so literally just under 20 years, pretty much nonstop. Like in 2005, that's when I started working in Warcraft 3 to make the Fallen Sage. And then I switched over to the RPG Maker, and I made the Fallen Sage RPG, and then the sequel. And then I took about, I think, like a 3 or 4 month break after I finished that, and then I discovered Medieval 2, and I just went right back into making Zelda stuff. So, except for several months in 2010 until last February, I've been working on some Zelda thing nonstop since 2005, and that alone, I think, just burned me out. And then on top of that, like, I haven't enjoyed any of the Zelda games. The Zelda fandom seems more interested in just endlessly talking about, like, all the theory stuff. So, like, I don't want to say I don't get along with, but I don't really, like, kind of identify with the Zelda fandom and the stuff they're interested in. And it's a completely night and day difference between that and, like, Star Fox, where I seem to really get along with all the Star Fox fans. It's easy to talk with them. They all seem to like the Star Fox game I'm making. And I'm just so burned out on Zelda that at this moment, I don't think I'm going to go back to Hyrule Conquest. I mean, never say never, but at this moment right now, like, I don't want to go back to it. But there was a few different ways I was going to do a Kala. The most recent way I was going to do a Kala was basically there was going to be a group of different minor factions you could pick from that would be like the core of them. So you could pick like the Wind Tribe or the Minish, and there was a third one. What was the third one you could pick? I think it was Skyloft, actually. It's something to do with the Loft Wings, because the Loft Wings were going to be one of their things. But basically, you were given 3 different, instead of the heroes, you were given different minor factions you could pick, and that would kind of be the core of it would give you a bunch of different techs and units, and then you'd have, the actual Helians is like the base of your army. But I never really got really far into developing a Kala because I kept saying I'm just going to remove them from the game. They are a faction that I continually decided, I don't need them in the game. And then later on it'd be like, maybe they can be in the game. And I'd kind of like redesign them every time I decided to add them back into the game. But the oldest version of them, they were just going to be the Ancient Hylians and the Minish and the Wind Tribe just all mashed together. Back before I switched over to the 0 AD engine. So hopefully that answers that. Leonazard making some Star Wars memes. So your Zelda Gabriel Lott mentions my Zelda ROM hack promo being really intriguing. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making it. They're actually the guy who made the Missing Link ROM hack. He reached out to me, I think a month or 2 ago, and he said he'd be willing, with some certain conditions, he'd be willing to work with me on a Zelda ROM hack. And I told him, yeah, I'd be interested, but I also told him I'm just, like I told someone else in the chat earlier, I'm so busy with the Star Fox stuff right now. And I'm so sick of Zelda that I think I need a break before I do that. So if I do ever make a Zelda ROM hack in the future, I probably will be teaming up with the guy who did the Missing Link ROM hack, which is the ROM hack that inspired me to try making a Zelda ROM hack. I just noticed I'm like off screen from the webcam, so I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm like leaning off to the side of the screen while I'm talking because I'm kind of leaning over, but sorry about that. Not that I look so tired that you guys probably don't even care that you could see my face, but so yeah, I do think if I do a Zelda ROM hack, it's gonna be one of those things I work on when I'm like tired and old and I'm like retired, I'm tired and I'm old, and it's probably gonna be like one of the last things I make before I die. I'm just gonna finally make this fucking Zelda N64 game. Cause I doubt Nintendo's ever gonna make one. I mean, never say never, but can you imagine like if Nintendo made an explicitly direct sequel to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on N64 hardware and they released it for like $20 as like a little side thing? I can guarantee you that would do phenomenally well. That would make them so much money. Like, before all the boomers who played Ocarina of Time die and like no one cares about Ocarina of Time anymore, they really should do that. But I don't think they're going to. I mean, never say never. They went back and did Star Fox 2. That, you know, they released that after 20 years, so you never know, but that's something I actually would really be interested in seeing Nintendo do, is an N64 hardware direct sequel to Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, which is what I'll do with a ROM hack if I ever get around to it. But Lord of Creation mentioned, I would be surprised if the Zonai are a part of the Akala faction. I mean, I stopped working on the game right around the time the Zonai were introduced into Zelda, so I haven't really thought about what I could do with the Zonai faction. Because I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but are they related to the Guardians in any way? Because my initial thought is to tie them to the Guardians and kind of combine them together, but I haven't thought about a Zonai faction because I stopped working on the game around the time that one came out, and I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't plan on playing it, so I don't really know tons about them. All I know is that they're the royal family's ancestors, so apparently the Hylian royal family are a bunch of furries now, which to me is really amusing and funny, because I'm trying to imagine, like, go back in time to 1998, go back in time and go to a Zelda fan who's playing Ocarina of Time, and then go to them and tell them, yeah, you know, Princess Zelda and the royal family, their ancestors are giant goat demons from the sky. And I don't think anyone would believe you. It's just such a strange kind of out of left field thing in Zelda that wasn't really set up, but that's not unusual. Zelda's got a lot of that now. Zelda's been pulling shit out of their ass for 20 years now. It's just really amusing to me because it's so out of left field, and it happens like because one person in my Discord, I forgot actually I shouldn't say his name. He got a build of Tears of the Kingdom like 2 weeks before it came out, and he was streaming it in my Discord, and I watched him play through the intro of the game, and like right at the start of the game, like it's revealed, oh, my ancestors were Zonai, and I was laughing so hard because it's so out of left field, and it throws all of this at the player, and then the game just kind of glosses over it and moves on past it, and then Zelda goes back in time or whatever. I'm struggling to remember what happens right after that. Ganondorf does something to Link and he loses his arm or whatever, but like the game just dumps this giant like universe changing lore about the Hylians, and then it just glosses over and moves on like it's not a big deal, and it's like, what? You can't just, what? And it's so funny the way it does it. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, no, you gotta pause the game. I have to process the fact that I just found out that the Hylian royal family screwed a bunch of sky goats. Like, I don't know, the game like didn't give you any time to like process that, and it just was really funny to me. Anyway, my mic is probably peaking because I can hear distorted sound coming out of the speakers over there. Let's see, Ice Cream or Clash Crash. How about making a Star Fox style game in the Zelda universe where you fight against Vadi's Interstellar Empire? I mean, at this point, when I do new games, I think I'm gonna set things in my own settings. I think when I finish Star Fox Event Horizon, it's gonna be the last actual fan game I make, because I'm not that old, but I'm getting older. I'm getting slower, and I'm getting more tired. And I really feel like after I finish Star Fox Event Horizon, I really should focus on my own original stuff before I get too old. I'm starting to feel really tired lately. Like, see, I'm not quite 40 yet, but I'm getting close to 40, and I'm losing energy, and I'm way slower than I used to be. Like, I can't believe, like, how tired I've gotten in the last 5 years. And I'm not getting any better, so I really need to prioritize the things I definitely want to get done in my lifetime, and obviously Event Horizon's one, and a game that's my own thing that's not a fan game is another. So I don't think I'll be focusing on any fan game stuff when I finish Event Horizon. Let's see what other questions are there. Lord of Creation. Also, I will bet the Oka are a part of the Akala faction as well. They, at least in Hyrule Conquest, the Oka and the Akalans were actually going to be separate. The Oka were going to be their own faction, and then my ideas for them, I feel like, would have been really overpowered, so I kind of... In the latest version of Hyrule Conquest, when I quit working at it, the Oka were not going to be a playable faction in the game. I kind of removed them because my ideas for them made them too powerful. Zelda goat. Yeah. I know they're technically some kind of dragon, but they look like goats to me. They look like sheep, goat, llama monstrosities. Which, if you know what a dragon actually is, a dragon is just a hybrid of a bunch of different animals. Like if you look at medieval art of dragons, they're not always just like a reptile with bat wings. Like they've got feathers, they've got like dog legs, they've got lion tail. A dragon is an animal that you can't classify. It's a very dangerous animal that you have no way of classifying. So I'm just gonna say that the Zonai are sky goats because they look like goats to me. Let's see, Leonazar. Do you think you would prefer Breath of the Wild Zelda if the game was more like Kingdom Come Deliverance? I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance, so I don't think I can answer that. I think what would have made Breath of the Wild more enjoyable for me is and this they've kind of done retroactively. They're being a little cheeky about it. But one, if just right out of the gate they're like, this is a reboot. This is not connected to any of the past Zelda games. This is a brand new reboot. New mythology, new lore. Forget all the Zelda games. This is a whole new thing. So one, if they'd done that right from the start. Two, if they got better voice actors, because it's weird because some of the voice actors in Breath of the Wild, I've heard them in other things and they're fine. So I think it's more the voice direction. Like, the voice acting in Breath of the Wild is god-awful. It's terrible. Like, I've ranted about it online like 10 years ago. Like, the voice acting in that game is shockingly bad. But what's strange is some of the voice actors in that game, they've been in other projects and they're fine. Like, the actress that plays Princess Zelda, like, she's been in TV shows and other games. She was in a Star Wars game where she plays a TIE fighter pilot, and her voice is fine in that game, but her voice is really, I don't know what it was, but Princess Zelda's voice acting in that game is really just awful. The voice actress that voices Urbosa, she was in a Star Trek thing, and she was great. She was in Star Trek Continues. She was in the episode when they go to the planet where everything's all black and white because there's some weird thing in the atmosphere where they can't see any color. So it's a planet where everything's black and white, and she plays one of the aliens in that Star Trek Continues episode, and she's great in that. But she doesn't sound like her, but like the voices that come out of the characters in Breath of the Wild don't match how the characters look. Like Princess Zelda sounds way older than she looks in that game, or Bosa sounds way younger than she look like. And it's just, I don't know, like the only voice actor I think that did a really good job was the guy who did Rivali. Like, but I think that's just because I kind of enjoy characters that are kind of jerks because they're annoyed that everyone around them's incompetent. Kind of like the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager. I always like a character who's actually competent, and they're kind of annoyed that they're surrounded by incompetent people, and that's kind of what Rivali is in that game. So he did a decent job, but for the most part, like, I don't even know who the hell voiced Impa, like the really old Impa. It's clearly not an old person voicing her. Like, just really bizarre casting decisions with that game. It felt like no thought was put into the voice acting, at least in the English version of that game. So that really was off-putting to me when I first played Breath of the Wild. And that was also the first game that had, full Zelda voice acting. So I'm like, you're coming out of the gate with a really bad impression of voice acting. At the time, I'm like, go back to no voices. This is such a bad job. So that's the second thing that I think would have helped me enjoy the game more, is that the voice acting was better. I think they really dropped the ball on the whole voice acting thing. Thirdly, and this is personal preference, but I kind of despise the art style of the game. And to be fair, there's a few Zelda games I don't like the way they look. And that's just a personal thing. I've jokingly called, actually my YouTube name is a meme related to that. I kind of jokingly said that Breath of the Wild, it looks like everyone's made of ice cream. Like they're all made of ice cream that's about to melt. So something about the visual style of the game I find kind of off-putting. I don't know. The plot in the game is kind of all disjointed and it's just kind of a mediocre game. The weapon breaking was lame. I think I didn't get very far in the game before I quit. I only played for like 4 or 5 hours and I'm like, I'm done. And I checked it out again like a few years later when they made a bunch of mods for it, for an emulator, and I tried those out, and I'm like, the game just doesn't speak to me. So there's a few things they could have done that I think would have made it better, but I think I'm just tired of Zelda, honestly. I was tired of Zelda when that game came out, and I'm really just burned out on it now. Like I haven't played the new one that came out a year ago, the one where I think you play as Zelda. Like I don't really know much about it other than someone came to me and pointed out that the villain in that game is like this primordial ancient evil entity that existed before the creation of the universe, and it has masks on it, and I'm like, I wonder where they got that idea from. But other than that, I don't really know much about that game. It kind of just came and went, and no one really talked about it. We need a really extremely Scottish Link. I think Scottish Link would be a really funny idea. I flirted with the idea of if I ever did voiceovers in my Zelda game of all the Kokiri having Irish accents. That might be kind of funny, but I don't know. Let's see. A problem that would arise if I did sell my game is that since I would be the boss instead of employee, I couldn't use a tax company to take care of any taxes. Yeah, I'm not familiar with filing taxes as a company because I've only ever gotten money through Patreon and then through the job I work at through a W-9. So I filed as a W-9 and a 1099K. A 1099K. I'm not a tax expert, so you'd have to get a guy who knows how taxes work with companies, because I've never owned a company myself, so I don't know the ins and outs of how to file taxes as an LLC or a corporate entity or a company. I could ask my boss, he knows. I do know that they file taxes at a different time than employees, though. That's all I really know, but I don't know how to file taxes as a company because I haven't owned one yet, so I couldn't help you there. But yeah, I'm getting really hungry. I'm probably going to answer just a few more questions and then I'm going to get up. Leonazard. Hell, I remember how you did lose your mind the first time Breath of the Wild happened, and to think how to add your fan game. I was just with others trying to help calm down the madness. Yeah, I think to me the Zelda game that like kind of broke my brain the most was actually Hyrule Warriors, which is funny because Hyrule Warriors is probably like my favorite Zelda game in the last 20 years because it's so insane. But Breath of the Wild, when it came out, to me it felt like it wasn't. To me, like, I feel like the goat thing in the sequel is way more crazy, but at that time, like, I'm just kind of used to all the crazy shit they kept adding into the series. But to me, when Breath of the Wild came out, it was more like, it wasn't so much shock, it was more just like, wow, this is really underwhelming. It just felt like a really underwhelming game that kind of, and another thing about it was that a bunch of other kind of open world games did things it did, but way better, like, long before it. There's a video I watched years ago that actually pointed out a lot of things Skyrim did better than Breath of the Wild. Like, one of the things Skyrim did better is, I can't remember the name of the idea, but in open world games, the idea where you see a location in the distance and you're like, I'm going to go there. In Skyrim, the way the world was designed is that there would always be some kind of tangible reward when you did that. And in Breath of the Wild, there isn't. Like, you'll go to an interesting looking location in Breath of the Wild and you won't get anything. Not that you need to get a cool item every time you go to a location, but like there was just so many other games that I had played and that I was aware of that did things better than Breath of the Wild, that the game felt aged. Like, it felt like this game should have came out like 7 years before it came out. And that's how I felt about Skyward Sword when it came out too. I'm like, it's 2011, like, the motion control thing is fucking old now. The game looks visually worse than Twilight Princess. I have a feeling if Skyward Sword came out in, like, 2005, it probably would have came off better, but it felt like an ancient, old, dated game when it came out. And that's how I felt about Breath of the Wild, too. It just felt like way too late to the party, kind of. Maybe that's how I describe it. It felt like a game that I probably would have liked it more if it came out a decade before it released. And a lot of Zelda games kind of feel like that to me. They feel like they're really late to the party now. They feel like they're chasing trends and trying to catch up to things other games have done. Where back in the 90s and the 2000s, it always felt like Zelda was kind of leading the way. Like Ocarina of Time, like nothing, at least that I'm aware of, nothing had ever really been done quite like Ocarina of Time when it came out. And it felt like things were chasing Ocarina of Time, whereas it feels like Breath of the Wild didn't really do anything new when it came out. It was chasing like Skyrim and other things. And there's not necessarily a problem with that. It's just something that's, in the back of people's mind, at least my mind. Obviously, it's the best-selling Zelda game ever, so clearly it did something right. But in the back of my mind, when that game came out, I'm like, this game looks dated, it plays dated, it sounds dated. It sounds like the voice acting is from 2001. Like, this game just feels old and late and kind of underwhelming. Leonazard, I guess Breath of the Wild 2 didn't catch you too. Well, the goat thing caught me because that was wild, but I haven't played it, so I don't know. I haven't really played it. It's possible that, was it Tears of the Kingdom? It's possible it's way better than the first one, but I haven't played it. And I have no plans on playing it because it doesn't look interesting to me, but Hyrule Warriors is at least one of the least canon Zelda games. Yeah, it is kind of funny. Like, Hyrule Warriors, when it first came out, like, I was just kind of baffled by it, and now, like, it is one of my favorite things. It's so over the top and ridiculous that it's just kind of really funny. It almost feels like, I don't think this is what they intended, but it kind of feels like a parody of Zelda in a way. And it's really over the top and kind of funny. I like it. I haven't played the second one because, well, it's all themed around Breath of the Wild, so I never got it. So I don't know if the second one's any good, but Neffy, I do think we'll get a new game for the 40th do you think we'll get a new game for the 40th anniversary? It makes sense that they would do a Zelda game for the 40th anniversary. I would expect it to be a remake rather than a whole new game, though. They might remake the original Zelda or like re-release it. There's rumors going around they're remaking Ocarina of Time again, but I don't trust any rumors. But if I were to make a prediction, they'll re-release one of the older Zelda games for the 40th anniversary. And I would guess it would be the very first Zelda game. But who knows? They're Nintendo. Nintendo does random shit. You can never really predict what they do. They didn't do a Star Fox game for the 25th anniversary. No hand. Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion, is worse than Breath of the Wild. Well, I'll take your word for it. See, I think Twilight was a filled world, but Breath of the Wild was empty. Like the textless story are too big. Yeah, a lot of people say that the Hyrule Field in Twilight Princess is like kind of big and empty, but I don't know. In retrospect, I feel like it's really quaint compared to Breath of the Wild, which does have a lot of just kind of empty space and bokoblins. Yeah, Zelda turns 40 next. That's fucking insane. I remember the 25th anniversary like it was yesterday. That's crazy. Yeah, and then in another decade, we're going to be at the fifth. Zelda will be 50 years old. That's insane. I still can't believe this game I was playing is 25 years old. Like, it feels like not long ago I bought the Dreamcast and I bought this game, and I don't know, it's crazy. Maybe Nintendo will give us a new Mach Rider game. That would be cool. There's a name I haven't heard since 2002. 2001. What are some of the other Nintendo things that have kind of vanished? I guess there's always Kid Icarus. That's been gone for a while. F-Zero. Oh, actually, no. Didn't they just release an F-Zero game like a year ago? The online one? So no, there was an F-Zero game not that long ago. Watch, for the 40th anniversary of Nintendo, they're going to re-release Star Fox Adventures or something as a celebration of Zelda. They're going to do something really weird. I think Golden Sun isn't Golden Sun made by Treasure, not Nintendo? But yeah, Golden Sun's been missing for, 15, 20 years now, I think. That was a game everyone I knew when Golden Sun came out was just, Golden Sun is better than Final Fantasy. I don't think it's better than some of the older Final Fantasy games, but I don't know, the Golden Sun would be it. I'm kind of surprised they haven't made one in recent years, unless they have and I'm just not aware of it. But yeah, it's almost dinner time, so I think I'll answer one more question and then I'm gonna head out. So I'm gonna shut this game down. Actually, I think the screen froze because I minimized OBS, but I wasn't playing anything, so I'll probably end the stream in just a few minutes. So I think it became a really rare game. Yeah. Star Fox Adventures is a cool little game. But after playing Dinosaur Planet, I really feel like it would. I hate to say it, but it would have been better if it was released as Dinosaur Planet. The build of Dinosaur Planet that's out now, like it's so much better than Star Fox Adventures. There's so much stuff that they cut from it. All the lore that was cut from the game, like I really think Dinosaur Planet, if it was released, it would have been one of those really, really well-loved, like, cult following games. But Star Fox Adventures came out, and I don't regret it, because I probably never would have played Dinosaur Planet if it came out as Dinosaur Planet back in the day. Anyway. Let's see, is there any more questions before I go? Let's see, Tears of the Kingdom is like the Demon King Secret Stone 4 times before doing under... Yeah, I don't know, I don't know much about the Secret Stones in that game. I think if I remember right, in Tears of the Kingdom, if you eat the stones, you turn into a dragon or something. I don't really know what their background is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if Dinosaur Planet came out as it was, I probably never would have met Estelle Ellis, because I probably would have never played Dinosaur Planet, because it wasn't Star Fox, and I hadn't heard of Dinosaur Planet when they were making it as that game, so yeah, it's possible that... Who knows how things would have turned out if that never became Star Fox Adventures. But in retrospect, hindsight being 2020, in retrospect, Dinosaur Planet would have been a much better game than Star Fox Adventures, so I can't lie. Like, I played through it. The ideas they had for it are just better than the final game that we got. But at least we got that ROM of Dinosaur Planet. We got to peek at it. I mean, that's cool. I'm not seeing any more questions, so I think I'm gonna head out now. But thank you guys for showing up to a stream I thought no one would show up to. I'm kind of excited that some people in the audience had actually heard of or actually played this game. It's such a cool game, and I'm really sad that it's kind of lost to history, and the sequel got canceled, and then the second sequel got canceled, and nothing's really been done with it. But definitely in the comments, put a list of games like it, because I haven't played that many games like this since it came out, and I would like to. And one of these days, maybe after I finish Star Fox or after I finish one of my other games, I'm definitely going to make a game like this, where everyone's anthros and furries, because I think it would do well. I think people would like it, but yeah, that was a fun little stream. But Leonazard. I thank you, Leonazard, for that. But he wasn't interested. Although he might be interested in doing voices for the Star Fox game. So I don't know. That might be a possibility in the future of getting him to do voices in my Star Fox game. But he wasn't interested in doing voices for the Zelda game, sadly. I talked to him for a bit, and he just didn't seem interested. Anyway, but yeah, thank you, everyone. I will probably do another stream in a year. Probably be another 8 months to a year before I do another stream, because I'm so busy. But actually, no, there'll probably be a stream in a month or two when Estelle and I are ready to release the next plush. But anyway, thank you guys for showing up, and where's the button to end the stream? I actually can't find the button to end the stream. Oh, there it is. All right, thank you guys for showing up, and have a good one. And the Cloud Runner Fortress should be ready in about a week or two.